You are welcome. In today's class, I am going to show you the easy way you can easily understand, or the easy way you can easily get the names of these structures given before you. This is one of the aspects that students find difficult in chemistry. Organic aspect of chemistry. Of course, you know that this is an organic aspect of chemistry, and this is a likely JAMB questions you will come across this year. Not only in JAMB, WAEC as well, because if you check JAMB objective and WAEC objective, they are quite similar. Okay, now I'm going to show you the easy way you can easily get the names of this structure. All right, so let's answer the question. We're asked to find the IUPAC name of this compound given before us. This compound has been given in structural form, and this too has been given in structural form. So we are asked to write to get the to write out the IUPAC name of the compound itself. What is the name of the compound? All right. First thing you need to do whenever you want to name an organic compound like this, first of all, you need to check for the longest carbon chain. The longest carbon chain. That's number one. One thing is look for the longest. One is look for the longest carbon chain. That's number one thing you need to take note. Look for the longest carbon chain. Number two, the parent's name. And number three, the substituents. So, if possible, the substituents are 2 or 3, you can put S. So, these are the 3 major things you need to take note if you want to name any particular compound. Now, first thing says the longest carbon chain. So, let's answer this number 1. What is the longest carbon chain? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that is 6. What if I don't go straight like that? What if I get to this place and I branch to this part, because there's also carbon here? So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see that this is 5, and the first one happens to be 6. What do you think will be the longest carbon chain now in this case? Or what if I don't even start from here? I start from here like this and I come like this. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Which one do you think has the longest carbon chain? That was the first one that we did, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is the longest carbon chain. But one thing is that I call this one 1. Take note, it may not necessarily mean that this will be carbon 1. I could start naming like this, that first of all, we already know that this is the rule that we have to follow, which is the longest carbon chain. So I could start, I may start numbering like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What matters, what will determine the right place to start is our substituent. What determines the right place to start is what? Our substituent. Now, before we go to that, we have already seen the longest carbon chain. So we have done with what? Number 1. Second one is the parent's name. What is the parent's name? Now, if you look at this compound, this structure, you will see that they all have single bond. Single bond, which signifies that it is an alkane. You know, in hydrocarbon, in organic chemistry, alkanes have single bond, alkenes has what? Double bond, and alkyne has what? Triple bond. So this is an alkane. Okay, now how are we going to determine the parent's name? You know, from alkane, we know that the formula of alkane is CnH2n plus 2. Now, if you are confused, maybe you don't know how to memorize the structure of the formula of alkanes, alkenes, alkynes, cycloalkanes. Maybe you think the formula are too much for you to memorize. I've prepared a separate video for that on how you can easily memorize all the formula without you stressing yourself. Check my description for that. You will see the link to that particular video I'm talking about. Okay. Now, this is the formula for arcane. So we want to determine we want to get a parent name now. Now, mind you that the carbons that we have here, they are what? They are 6 carbons. 6 carbons, which means now this is carbon CN. That is, instead of me writing N, I'll put 6, which tells us that the carbon is what? 6. That is, that will be C6. And when I put 6 here, signifies that I've replaced N with 6, which tells us that our N is equals to what? 6. So this will be 2 times 6, that will be 12. Plus 2, that will be what? That will be 14. So this compound in hydrocarbon, it is called azane. It is called what? Azane. Azane in hydrocarbon. Now, it is under alkane. We have, this is the parent name. We have done with number 1, we have done with number 2 now. We have gotten the parent name. Then the substituents. The substituents. Now, if you check this now, since we are following this line, the substituents are the bromine and the what? And the methyl. Why is it called methyl? Why is this called methyl? You know, I can also write this one as CH what? H3, because there are 3 hydrogen at this part. So I can call it as CH3. Okay, so which is methyl. Why is it methyl? You know, if you check my particular previous video I did on names of organic compound, I explained why CH3 is called methyl. Why we have methyl, ethyl, propyl, like that. So I explained that in my previous videos on namings of what? Organic compound. So it is called methyl. CH3 is called methyl. Do well to check that particular video in the description as well. Check it. Now, methyl, CH3 is called what? CH3 is called methyl. And another substituent we have is what? Bromine. Br is a symbol of bromine. So it is bromine. So when you want to name it in a compound like this, you don't call it bromine, you call it bromo. Take note. So I can call it bromo, okay, or bromine. So it signifies bromine, okay. Take note of that. All right. Now we have done with the parent name. We have done with the substituents. These are the 2 substituents we have. Now, what determines where to number, like where to start numbering? What determines are the 2 substituents? They are the 2 substituents. Please, you need to be very careful at this point. Now, if I start numbering from here or here, it determines you. If you start numbering from here and you do others well, if your numbering is wrong, you may see, for example, that if you call this one carbon 1, carbon 2, carbon 3, carbon 4, carbon 5, carbon 6, like that, and you numbered it like that, and you named this structure according to the number, you will likely see your answer here. But believe me that you may be wrong. Please be very careful in this aspect. If you want to start numbering, now you need to check this. You need to consider your substituent first. Take note of that. Consider your what? Your substituent if you want to start numbering. And we have 2 substituents here. We have bromine and this one, methyl, that is here. Now, one is higher than the other in terms of priorities. One is has the higher priority than the other. So if you check bromine and methyl, bromine started with B. If you have to follow alphabetical order, in this case, if you have to follow alphabetical order, you will easily get to B before methyl. Okay, so B comes first before the what? This particular one, methyl. So the first one that we ask the one that we ask the highest priority, it is bromine, because bromine will come first before that one. So now, since we already know that we are taking bromine to be the highest priority, we are taking bromine to be the highest what? Priority. Now, in this case, bromine determines where you have to start numbering, whether you have to start numbering from here or from here. Now, bromine can be found in this place. If I start numbering from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, I will need to count 4 carbon before I could get to where the substituent is. That is if I start numbering from the what? From the left. But what if I start numbering from the right? 1, 2, 3. I will need to get to 3 carbons before I get to bromine. When I started from the left, that should be 4 carbon. When I started from the right, that is also what? 3 carbon. Which one do you think is faster to get to where bromine is? If I start from the left here now, 1, 2, 3, I've already got to where bromine is. But rather, this one takes a longer process. So we will choose the one that is very close. The one that is very, very what? Close, which is coming from the left. Now, I will take this one to be my carbon 1, carbon 2, carbon 3, carbon 4, carbon 5, and carbon 6. All right. Now, if I'm to start numbering now, 1, 2, 3. If you want to start naming, you must always start from your substituent. Start from your where? Substituent. Now, I want to start naming. I have bromine will come first, even because it has a higher priority than methyl. So bromine followed by methyl. These are the 2 substituents we have. So you need to name the 2 substituents first before you call the parent name. We have already known that the parent name is azane. It's azane. So you need to name these 2 substituents very well first. Now, bromine can be found in carbon 3. So I will say what? 3 bromo. Mind you that I said this bromine, you call it as bromo, okay? You call it as bromo, okay? Now, 3 bromo. Then the next substituent we have is this methyl. Is at what? Carbon 4. So 3 bromo, 4 what? 4 methyl. 3 bromo, 4 methyl. Then, since you are done with the substituent, then what is the parent name? Add the parent name. That's the next thing to do. So what is the parent name? The parent name is azane. Azane. And that is our answer to that. Which options best describe this? You can say that the option number B is the correct answer. Please don't be confused. They are almost similar. Please be very careful. 3 bromo. Bromo comes first before methyl. The correct option there is option B. Option B. Take note of that. And to answer the next one, just as I've explained earlier, look for the longest carbon atom. The longest carbon atom is, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. See, when you get to this list, you can either come here or come here. But make sure that you branch to, maybe, for example, I still have another carbon here. Definitely come down because it has the longest carbon atom. Then, so when you get to this place, you can come here or come down, like come up. So I said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is 7. Is that the longest carbon atom? Now, we have gotten this to be 7. Let's try another method. What if I come like this? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It is still 7. Okay? It is still 7. What if I come like this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It is still 7. So to avoid confusion, I will advise you to pick the first one straight, which is that straight form like this. That will be the best option for you. You be very careful. That will be the best, so that to avoid what, because if you start from here now, yes, we can still name it, but you may be confused. So pick this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that is the one we are following. Now, in this case now, since we already know that we will come like this, then come down like this. So now we have already gotten the longest carbon chain atom, which is the first one. We are done with that. Now, the second one is the parent name. What is the parent name? First of all, check. Do you see any double bond or triple bond? No. So we only have single bond, which tells us that it is from alkane. It is from alkane. So count the carbon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So since the carbons are 7, then I will put 7 here from the formula of alkane. When I put 7 here, that will be C7. You know, this is also 7 because I've replaced any with 7. So this will be 7. 2 times 7 will be 14 plus 2. That will be what? 16. So H what? 16. Which, what is the name of this compound? It is called what? Heptane. Heptane. It's called heptane. So that is the parent name, heptane. Heptane. Now we have gotten the parent name. What about the substituent? Now we are coming like this. What are those things that are attached to them? We have this one here, and we also have the one at the top here. Since we are coming down like this, so this one, and this one are substituent. Now if you check this CH3, this is also CH3. So CH3 is also the same thing as this C what? H3. So that is one substituent. CH3 is called what? Methyl. CH3, it is called methyl. Now this first one is the parent's name. It is called methyl. And C2, CH2, CH3. This one now, I can also call it like this. How many carbon that are here? 1, 2. So C2H. How many hydrogen? 2 plus 3. That will be what? H5. So it is called what? It is called ethyl. It is called ethyl. Okay. Now we have got the only two substituents we have are methyl. Although we have two different methyl, one here, one here, and another one we have is what? It is ethyl. So if you are to determine the numbering now, first of all, you need to check which one has the highest priority between methyl and ethyl. If you follow alphabetical order, ethyl comes first before methyl. Okay, so this takes the highest priority. So anything you want to number, it must be in the favor of this what? This methyl here. It must be in the favor of this methyl. So if I start numbering like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I will need to count 5 carbons before I will get to where ethyl is. What if I start from the right? 1, 2, 3. Which one do you think is more faster? Starting from the what if I start from the left? 1, 2, 3. Which one do you think is more faster? Starting from the left is more faster. So we will choose the one that is very faster. So this will be carbon 1, carbon 2, carbon 3, carbon 4, carbon 5, carbon 6, carbon 7. This will be carbon 7. All right. Now, since you have gotten that, since you have done with that, then we can then name. Mind you that since this has the highest priority, you must start from where it is. Now, this one is in what carbon now? Carbon 3. Is in carbon 3. That ethyl is in carbon 3. So I will say what? I will say what? 3 ethyl. Is that only ethyl that we have as substituent? We have this and this as substituent. But this and this, they are attached to what carbon? Carbon 2 and carbon 6. So I will say what? 2, 6, what? Di. We call it di because there are 2. Dimethyl. Dimethyl. Dimethyl what? Methyl. What is the parent name? The parent name is what? Heptane. So dimethyl what? Dimethyl heptane. So dimethyl heptane. This place doesn't contain it. That's why I wrote it here. Okay, dimethyl heptane. So that's 3 ethyl, 2,6 dimethyl heptane. And the correct option to that is option A. Option A is the correct answer. If you find this video helpful, please consider to subscribe, like, comment, and share the video to your friends. Recommend this channel to your friend. All right, see you in my next video. Thank you for watching.